Hello and welcome back to Chaotic Neutral Games. It is late, sorry. We were doing all sorts of stuff trying to trick Zoom into working, and I shouldn't have said it out loud, but at the moment... Oh no.
Have you seriously jinxed it?
I've got you now. I can hear you now. Are you there?
Have I jinxed? Have
I
you
can
jinxed
hear you.
this?
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Oh, thank God.
We've been doing.
Thank
Hey
goodness for
viewers, we've been doing this for an hour and a half.
Uh,
I don't know whether they're taking the mick or not. That's the problem.
Now you're gonna have an hour and a half of watching this fun.
yeah. And if you see us stop moving at any point, please just try and guess which of us are frozen and which one of us are messing with you. This is a fun game we've decided to start doing, which really smoothed the process of trying to troubleshoot Zoom.
Can suddenly see why it's taken us like an hour and a half to start.
Before anything else goes wrong, I'm just going to run the titles. And we're back. All five of us? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Keep moving.
I'm just going to monologue for a bit as I recap what happened last week. And it was last week. Which, very rare for us. Last week, we started with a tense situation. The Lady Vice had been caught in a trap by our friend Clegy. And yes, no, I wasn't going to sing it.
Sorry, that's not helpful, is it, to mime it when
No, I was like...
I'm really sorry. I didn't think that through. I'll just shut up now.
Lady Vice was indisposed. And Fryn, the one of the children of Lady Vice, tall, red armor, long red sword, was pointing it at Cleegy's throat. Clegy managed to talk her down, I seem to remember, saying that you couldn't get Lady Vice out any earlier, so you've got to wait 28 hours. So you bought yourself some time as she moved over to get in the way of the door. Trenton took some time to figure out what was going on with the other child of Lady Vice.
Marriott.
Marriott, thank you. In fact, I'm going to show it on stream because it's cool as hell. I really like the Numenera art. There we go. Yeah, there we are. Figuring out Marriott's deal. Marriott had some telepathic abilities, some very small telekinetic ability. And you could see that there was a connection between Marriott and Fryn somehow. Marriott, of course, having no head and having these satellites and such in place, or satellite dishes and such in place. What happened next? Somebody tried to go towards the desk and Meriod got in the way. And then, was it Letty decided? No, it was Trenton made
I
the
lost my
first move.
patience.
Yes, lost patience and cut off Meriod's connection to everyone. Fryn took that as a reason to attack, and there was a bit of a scuffle. Letty disappeared using her new ability and nicked the diary off the desk, hiding it away.
I mean, they tried to be a bit of a scuffle, but then Trenton had... No, not Trenton. I'm not Trenton. Clegy had the great idea of giving a command to Fryn to take Meriod out of the way. Unfortunately, Fryn wasn't strong enough.
Yes, and Meriod managed to get to the room with all the beast men, who managed to get an order out to them before stalking off to another room. Fryn swiftly recovered from her command and charged back into the room where she was torroed, I think, out of the way, and Letty, torroed by Clegy, and Letty chucked her out the window, where she landed slam 3 or 4 floors down. That went very well. There was a bit in the middle. Sorry, I forgot where the door was slammed shut, and Mazia managed to block it with some of her prepared. She'd thought of it and prepared something beforehand to block that door for a bit, to give you a bit of time to prepare. Fryn burst through out the window, which was the direction that the rest of you were planning to go. And so Trenton just decided to go out of the window and absolutely stacked it. You managed to stop lots of damage, but you still got a fair amount of damage. Mazia followed using the whip to slow her descent somewhat and landed on top of Fryn. Back in the room, Letty went up and out to one of the higher floors into the laboratory where Meriod was trying to fix his head. And in the meantime, Clegy was holding a group of these beastmen at bay at the door, using his force of will, his powerful oratory skills.
Or, as I like to think of it, challenging the pissed offness of having to deal with these people on a daily basis.
Yes, indeed.
Rude. We're delightful.
Clegy at this point still has the trap, and so Fryn stands by the door waiting for Clegy to either come out the window or through the door, until realizing that Trenton is probably going to be doing something, because the book got handed over from Letty to Trenton, and the book is very important, so Fryn went after Trenton. And there was a chase out the window while Letty was looting the laboratory and stopping Meriod from fixing his head. Trenton and Mazia were charging out, and then Clegy did a kind of slip space jump kind of thing. Disappeared and reappeared between them and kept going, leading Fryn on a merry chase. Letty reaching out above, turning the corner, and meeting the Pale Stalker, this beast that's been stalking around, this slightly out of phase monster, been stalking around the place. At this point, I can't remember who decided it, but it was decided that Lady Vice would be useful here with her staff to stop at like a 3-way fight. So Trenton took it jabbed the screwdriver and levered the lid off to let Lady Vice out, breaking the cipher in the meantime. But freeing Lady Vice, the cane went flying where Mazia scooped it up, and Kliji managed to convince Lady Vice to tell us how to use the staff, which Mazia swiftly did, and soon Fryn was under her control. There was a short but brutal combat where you managed to... Letty had picked up a dimension, a phase nodule from the laboratory and managed to stick it into the beast, bringing it into phase with the rest of you, allowing you to affect it with physical weapons. And longsword slashes and mental blasts and whips and all sorts. And I think, did Kliji get the last blow with that Vered, the two-bladed sword?
It was
Had to
Trenton.
do. No,
What was it?
me.
Oh, nice.
I had to finally do combat. I tried so hard to not draw my sword all the way through.
Yeah. But the beast was slain. You have... well, you didn't actually make a deal with Lady Vice, but you have power over Lady Vice now that you have her staff. She's not a particularly physical fighter, turns out. She's very smart. Maybe not quite as smart as she claims, but she is very smart. And so we rejoin the group immediately after that. Lady Vice is several yards away, having tried to make a bolt for it during the combat. But there you all stand. Fryn and Kliji standing over the beast. Mazia with the staff in her hand. Fryn goes back to a neutral stance, sword straight, back straight. Still helmet has knocked off. That red gem in place of a head, glowing ever so slightly.
This really is neat, very helpful. She did a good job making it, other than the fact that she probably should have given herself some sort of ultimate control, even if she wasn't holding the staff. But other than that, it's a neat trick.
I'm not sure it's a neat trick, being able to, control people, I guess. And
yeah, well, the people aspect it's not so great, but it's very useful.
I think we've all learnt today that for some technology you do need some sort of override button or something, just to stop people doing this to your precious crafted Numenera. Trenton, I told you could have just removed the screws.
There's a lot of screws. We didn't have time to delicately undo it. We needed to get Lady Vice out for her superior fighting skills. By the way, Lady Vice,
she is significantly further away now.
Oh, is she going back to?
Oh, we should.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I did tell the guys not to let her in. But in case there is some sort of override switch in there, we should probably stop her.
Can you send Frym back and chasing her?
Can I? No, I can't control Frym, can I?
You can, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna send Frym after her to try and.
Yeah.
Frym's really fast.
Yeah, Fryn will nod and take off a comfortable lope, long strides, and very quickly catches up with the Lady Vice, and hand on her shoulder keeps her planted in place.
Excellent.
And you see the head hang.
Do you see what I mean? Not necessarily ethical, but very useful.
Can we ask them what they want to do? Maybe it's worth thinking about asking them what they want out of it. And I'm not... On the other hand, probably they've been designed to enjoy being controlled, and that is gross. That's what I'd do if I was Lady Vice, and I'm not a fan of it. No thank you.
But if they do, theoretically, if they do enjoy being controlled, although it's not ethical for her to have done that in the first place, do we just let her keep them? Do we want to let her? I don't want to say get away with it, because I'm not sure if she's broken any laws. There probably are some laws in place against sort of creating this situation.
Why doesn't it have blood? Why is it this sort of gunk stuff? Don't get it. And like, how am I meant to clean my Verad now? Do I just wipe it? It's not blood. I don't want to put that on my kilt.
Wipe it on wipe it on one of those purple flowers over there.
Okay.
Oh, the yellow!
Go and wipe it on some purple
No, the
flowers.
yellow one. The yellow one. Wipe it on the yellow one.
Too late. He's gone for the purple.
Right. Well, the Verad is not in your hand anymore.
It's clean. We'll get you a new one. Lady Vice is coming back to what Nazir said. Has she broken any laws? What was she going to do here? She just wanted a place to be queen.
And technically, even if she broke laws in our world, this isn't really our world. So who are we?
We're not even in the steadfast in our world. There's no laws at all, as far as I'm aware.
Well, exactly,
I mean,
and
like, I suppose the easiest way to find out would be to read her diary. Who's got it?
Ding!
Do you know how it works?
No.
I thought the desk was something.
Once we get back in, I don't think I know that though, do I? I don't think I know.
You're the one who discovered it was the desk.
Yeah, you're the one who discovered it.
You me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, in time we can get back and I can figure out everything that's happened here through the desk and this tablet here.
well,
Speaking of getting back in, I think there's a little mirrored doodad up in the laboratory upstairs that we might, I think might be our ticket home.
oh, well, that would be nice. It was nice seeing seeing our friends, wasn't it? Did you? Cause we missed them. It'd be nice to get back to them.
So is there anybody else here in this land, in this plane, in this dimension that we need to get back to where we came from?
There was that guy we brought with us.
There was
Gundon.
Gundon.
The leader of the Silver Star, the automaton, the one that idiot of a leader, mayor, whatever he was.
Lord Asdrin.
Yeah, that's the idiot. So what I'm suggesting is, first of all, I'm going to go and find my Verad, because I can't not have that. And whilst I'm doing that, I will go and find the person. They should be at the camp, I think, because if they're not in the hole, which they weren't, and they're not at the Wizard's Tower, which they weren't, and now the Pale Stalker's dead, presumably they're at the whatever the equivalent of the camp this side is. Something along those lines. Anyway.
Or they're dead.
He's just touched the purple flower to go and find his Verad. He's off.
Clearly disappears.
Oh, no.
Want me to go up and see if I can see anything from the sky?
Oh, maybe give him half an hour.
Yeah,
All right.
He'll make his way back probably, and but possibly we'll have better luck with Lady Vice with him not here, given that he was the one that sort of imprisoned her, and she probably doesn't really want that. She probably doesn't want to see any of us again.
I released her from her prison, so.
But yeah, you might have the best luck, and she seemed to like you the best anyway.
Well.
I think she called me stupid, so.
No. You must have misheard.
Probably. That makes much more sense. Yes.
Are we all keen to get back to our own land? Is that something that we are all in agreement with?
It's too purple here. Not a big fan of how purple this place is.
The others probably really are worried about us. We did just sort of disappear, and.
Okay, so Lady Vice is being held by Frim. So we can get back in, find the mirror, get back to where we came from. Are we going to leave this land as is? Are we going to give her some stern words about slavery? Or just leave her be, leave her to, have her own place, have her own land, and be the queen in her own land?
I mean, in some ways, it's better she's doing it here than, well, in the real world, I suppose.
Yeah,
but
it's in the real world.
But this is a real world. It's just not where we live. You know? I say murder her and be done with.
Clegy won't like that.
I'm not a big fan of murder either, but I'd rather murder than more that, pointing at the staff.
Well, maybe we could just bring her back with us.
And then what do? We make her a prisoner? I'm not a fan of that either. For a start, where would we put her? In the cart?
Yeah, I don't feel that she'd come along willingly.
Well, I'm not a fan of murdering her.
Neither am I. It's just the only way I can see forward.
Well,
let's have a look in her diary and figure out, maybe she regrets these creations. I mean, obviously she didn't sound like it, but people change.
Okay. So let's head back. Make Lady Bice let us into the castle. And then, go to the table. And figure out what this place is. Whether we can hack it.
Okay. A short walk back to the tower. The guards are set. And we'll happily let you through when you key the right bit into the staff. Lady Vice, are you taking Lady Vice with you, or are you leaving her behind? With Fryn kind of hand on shoulder.
I think have her as almost, not hostage, but as safe passage, as a token of safe passage.
Okay. Yeah. She comes with you, as does Fryn, and you make your way through the tower. The men pass and let you through, and you look around. Tower is yours.
Cool.
Letty, where did you say you saw the way home?
It was in the laboratory, which I would say upstairs, but it's actually in that room over there.
Right. Can I go and sort of poke my head around and just see if it's still there? It still looks exactly sort of as Letty described it?
Yeah, it is still there, and also standing in the middle of the mirrors, you can see Meriod.
If I wave, can he see me?
Yeah, he's just standing there.
So he can see me.
Well, as far as he can see. But yeah, he will acknowledge your presence if you ask him to. He will.
Does Mizia think he's on the other side of the mirror or in the same room in front of the mirror?
Oh, yeah, I was thinking... Yeah, that's my bad. I was thinking that he was on the other side. Oh, yeah, do I have control over him still with the stick?
Yes, you have control of him.
Can I try and talk to him?
Yeah.
I'm trying not to use the stick, I suppose. But I just want to be like, so, do you do anything for fun around here?
Walk into the stick.
He he speaks in that kind of synthesized voice. I think I mentioned it last time. I can never remember the details I mentioned. He speaks in the synthesized voice and says, "I don't really have a concept of fun."
But you know what it is.
I know the dictionary definition.
Do you have any emotions at all? Feelings?
No.
Huh. Would you like to?
I have no opinion on this matter.
Oh, should have seen that coming. In your... Well, do you have opinions on anything, I suppose?
I have technical opinions.
What are technical opinions?
The correct way to design circuits.
Ah. Huh. Are all of you like this? Do any of you have any sort of... Would you say you had a consciousness?
No.
Would you want to have a consciousness? You have no opinion.
I have no opinion on this matter.
You don't have opinions on anything? Well, that makes it very hard. We should go and talk to Trenton. Come talk to Trenton. Trenton will know what to do.
He will take a small step forward, and if you lead him out, he will follow you.
Yeah. Trenton. They don't have opinions. They don't have fun.
So having free will won't be any use to them at all.
Not really.
I mean, I've made machines like this where if I left them alone, they wouldn't have a purpose. So if something is made to have a purpose and then it isn't being controlled for that purpose, then there's no point in that thing existing in the first place. So perhaps we don't need to not look at this like slavery. We need to look at this like a mission, like something that's been made for a purpose. I'm not saying it's right, but we can't undo what has been done.
From what it sounds like, I say it is just a machine, you know. Yes, Lady Vice has dressed it up to look like this, but it's just a walking, talking computer. But, well, that's what I brought him to you, because I thought you might, well... is there a way to tell?
There might be something in this that which helps us find out how this was made and help us make a decision here. But
he might be able to tell you how to use it.
That's true. You know, if I can't figure it out myself. I don't say that. I would think that, but I probably wouldn't say it. I am going to go to the desk though, and I'm going to, basically try and figure out how the filing system works and how it connects.
Yeah. So as you put the book down on the desk, we cut to Clegy emerging from the underbrush, out in the campsite. Why not? You have bamfed yourself to the campsite immediately after you just brushed against that, and you see a Verid about 100 meters that way.
I will go and get the Verid.
Very nice.
I'm like, still not clean. Well, that didn't work. Right. Campsite. Can I look around, please?
Absolutely. What are you looking around for?
I'm looking around for the leader of the Silver Star, who I have no concept of what they look like. Maybe sort of humanoid, robot-y type thing, as far as I recall, but not entirely sure. Basically, some person who is not one of Lady Rice's creations.
Yeah. Let's get a roll for that.
What would this be under?
Some kind of perception roll.
Yeah, I'm not perceptive. That's Zia's job.
Don't know why you decided to go and search then.
Because I wanted to go and get my Verad back. I'm going to put 2 efforts in because I get at least 1 anyway. So. And let's go. Oh, well, that's terrible. It's 3 with 2 efforts.
3 with 2 efforts. Yeah, so you don't see anything different from the last time you were here. You had a pretty thorough search of the camp the first time you were here. You found a few sets of footprints, like a couple that got away, but yeah, no, you didn't. No one else has been hiding here as far as you can tell.
Is it Cinta you're looking for?
Cinta is, the leader of the Silver Star.
Right, well, let's go the old-fashioned way. Hello! You can come out. The stalkery thing is dead. The mad woman in the tower is contained, sort of. And we are friendly, sort of. We've got your old, well, he's not really much use, but, Gadron. Grodon.
I like that we are in character getting his name wrong every time as well. It's great.
Your lead still alive. He was in a hole for a long time. We've got him out the hole. But, I know you're probably around here. My name's Cleege. Pleased to meet you. Could do with talking to you. And also, do you want to leave this area? Because I don't know about you, but the purple and yellow, it's getting to me. I really hate purple, actually. I don't think I'm ever going to see purple in the same way again. So much trouble from purple. Anyway,
absolutely zero response.
Oh. Right. Well, that's a sort of failure, isn't it? I mean, I feel silly going back and coming out with nothing. But oh, actually, while I'm here, can I picked up the outer face device that Letty had.
Yep.
And then can I recharge it with one of my skills, please?
If you have a skill that recharges it, then yes.
I do. I have the recharge cipher skill. Has it been 10 minutes? I know we've had a break, but
I think it's been less than 10 minutes.
I can use extra effort if it was more than 10 minutes anyway.
Yeah, but you only, you basically finished the fight. Verad gone.
Yeah.
You've gone. Yeah. Had a little search round, but you've been here before. Yeah.
Okay, so I got to spend 1 XP and succeed at an understanding Numenera roll, difficulty equal to the level of the cipher. And I believe it is a level 2 cipher. I think from what you said last time. I'm pretty sure I wrote it down correctly.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think it was level 2 or level 3.
I did actually note it down from.
If you noted it down, it's a level 2.
I have deleted it from my character sheet.
It's interesting that is a character ability that costs XP to use. That is interesting.
I know. It's cool though.
Yeah.
It's cool. Got to use my XP somehow. I used it last week, but anyway. So, and then I'm going to put a couple of levels of effort in because I'm sure I pass. Although 2 is not actually. Actually, if I put 2 levels of effort in, I've passed, haven't it? If it's level 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's that done.
Okay. So, yeah, how are you charging this thing up?
Recharge cipher. That's a really good question. I sort of imagine he's like tapping it, and then like sort of looks around, puts it against his sort of mesh, and go, "Oh, who knew?" And it's like powered.
Just kind
It's
of
like-
accidentally.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Like, I know it does weird things, but
Like polishing on your jumper, and it just comes away working.
Static builds up.
Yeah. Why not?
and now I'd like to slip it on, please, and go out of phase.
Okay.
I'm in the cab, right?
You're in the
I'd
camp,
like to
yeah.
see what's on the other side of the cab.
So, out of phase isn't changing dimensions. So, out of phase means you can move through things in this reality, basically.
Oh, okay. That's my misunderstanding.
Yeah, you would know
Alright, I
that.
won't do
This
that
is why
then.
I tell you.
I will just. Yeah. I will just. He'll do that, and he'll be like, "Well, the piece was nice, but I suppose I better get back. I'll only be causing some sort of trouble, probably a revolution or something." No. Right. And he'll just go and brush up against a purple plant and see where he ends up.
Okay. As you do that, we're going to zoom over to Letty to see what she's doing in the tower.
I think Letty's thinking that she should probably go and check up on Grodon. And while she's on her way to try and find out where Grodon is, like if there's any other valuables lying around,
There are plenty.
she's not a big fan of the lady who owns this place, and she is more than happy to take stuff off her hands.
Oh yeah, there's lots of stuff that can be used for barter, and we can roll on cipher tables later as we need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just picture like Letty like walking like gliding through, having a look around, and the small objects just around her. She's not even looking at them, but they're like disappearing up her sleeves. She's not even moving her hands.
Yeah, basically anyone who wants to at the end of this can refill all of their ciphers. There is enough here
Wow.
to pick up. And yeah, Letty, you do find Grodon. He is sat in an armchair in the corner of the study eating sandwiches.
Still.
He's eating all of your sandwiches, so he's got a fair few to get through.
I always eat when I'm nervous too.
Yeah. I'll take it that you won then.
Yeah.
Well done.
Lady Vice is contained for now. We've got hold of her staff. We've killed that big out of phase creature.
I hope you don't begrudge me hedging my bets there.
I don't mind, honestly. I was part of a gang at one point, and sometimes you've got to see which way the knife falls, so to speak.
Yeah. Do you want a sandwich?
I would love. What flavor are these bad boys?
It's
I'm starving.
It's some kind of meat. I'm not asking questions. It's like a corned beef kind of thing.
But she looks at it, considers for a second. All right, just goes to town on the sandwich.
Kind of porky.
That's the worst possible 3 words that I wanted to hear.
Can I just I know I'm not there, but can I just ask, have we seen any animals that aren't the out of phase creature or the naked bestial man?
No.
Just checking.
Letty has not put that one together, so...
Hope we don't get a better button.
Yikes. So... Are you the only one who survived? Because we've probably got the time and resource to see if there are other people from your folks around here.
I'm the only one that I saw get out. There were a couple of people alive when I left, but I don't know. I just got out.
And your leader, the automaton, Simta,
Cinta, yeah.
she was one of those that was still left standing.
I didn't see her killed. I didn't see her. She went. I don't know.
Well, we can take a look around if that's something you'd be interested in. I think we found a way out of here as well. We'd need to take a bit of time to get that functioning, and it might be something that if that beast has sort of pulled them out of phase, we can have a look at maybe seeing if there's a way to mess with dimensions to get them out. But I don't know if that's something that we can do. I just thought say that we'd happy to take a look into it.
Yeah.
It's hard being the only one left of your gang.
Does that require me leaving this tower?
Right now, no, but we can have a look at.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. If you know of any likely spots, you've been here longer than us, then maybe you could come out with us if you wanted. But
I know the camp, and then I was by the pit.
Right.
That's all I've got. I'm sorry.
No worries. That's fine. This tastes a lot like pork.
Behind you, at the desk, Trenton is starting to unravel its secrets. Let's take a roll for that.
Okay.
What kind of skills are you using?
What have I got? I've got specialized in electrical machines.
Mm-hmm.
I have understanding Numenera, planning and organizing.
I think in this case, yes, that would apply.
Because I'm going through an organized filing.
Yeah. You're learning how someone else organizes.
I give advice by sort of getting the automaton just give tell him useful bits and stuff and when applicable.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, another asset for that.
And I will put in a level of effort as well.
Cool, 5 assets total.
Whoop.
Bring it down to a difficulty 1, actually.
17.
Oh yeah. It's fairly easy for you to crack the password, because one of the physical books nearby has a very a title suggesting it's all about cryptography, and you open it and literally there's a post-it with the password in the book.
Cryptography backwards, isn't it?
Sorry?
It's cryptography written backwards.
Exactly, yes. Only the O's are zeros.
I was just going to say that, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean. That's a really secure password.
And so, yeah, you managed to get into her archives.
Amazing.
And most of it is diary entries that are proclaiming her the most misunderstood scientist to ever exist, and when will her genius be noticed, and it goes on like this for a long time.
Okay. What do I want to find out?
When were you created? Do you know that? Was there a time, a date? How long have you been in this existence?
I have been extant for 13 years.
All right. There you go, Trenton. Maybe start about 13 years ago.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna, absolutely do that and find out how Myriad was created and for what purpose. Yeah. I want to do that also with Frim, and what I want to find out is whether there was supposed to be free will there, or it was supposed to be, whether these were built to serve. And same for the minions. As
Sure,
well.
yeah. So Meriod is actually pretty early in the diaries. Like,
Okay.
Meriod, as far as you can tell, is the first creation.
Okay.
You can see the little bit coming up to it. You see her reading her kind of literature review of the study of the brain, and how much of it is actually used for things like movement, breathing, these involuntary things.
Okay.
And you can see the designs evolving of a computer brain interface, but only the bits of the brain that are required for locomotion and, you know, the I've forgotten the word.
Just like the basic tasks.
Yeah, involuntary things like breathing and heart pumping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think Helen's probably going to correct me, but some of that stuff isn't actually dealt with in the brain. Like, the stomach has a kind of a nerve cluster that does a lot of that processing. So basically, it was stripping out everything that wasn't necessary.
Necessary for actual life.
Pretty much.
So like reflex action, I guess, as
Yeah,
well.
reflex
Yeah.
actions would still be
Okay.
there. And then this brain interface that was basically take a command, convert it to move here, move there, whatever. And
Controllable zombies.
essentially, yes. So it is, yeah, Meriod is somewhat a biological machine,
Yeah.
but based on human biology.
Yeah.
So where do you draw the line?
Brenton, using these notes, do you think you could put in some of the things that Lady Vice left out? Not necessarily now, but, you know, maybe the solution is give them full consciousness and then we can leave them to their own devices.
I've never created a machine which has full consciousness. It's not something. And this is the level that I work at. I create a machine to do a purpose and do it very well and over again. I'm more of an engineer than a, you know, than someone creating life. I don't think we should create life and consciousness. It's, in short, no, because it would require me building parts that I'm not really willing to build, to be honest. And to put in free will, it's the opposite of what I want to do. To have this biological interface, however, it's very fascinating.
This
to have,
is
have an interface that can correct potential problems if somebody has a problem with that brain movement interface, could be very useful. And we are absolutely not giving her back that stuff.
Entirely fair.
And I want to look up details of the staff as well. And I've already decided that I'm taking this tablet and I want to figure out, can I use this tablet? Oh, yeah, can I use this tablet? Do we think whatever we have here, we're going to be able to take back with us to the other dimension?
I mean, all of our clothes and stuff came with us, so all of our stuff came.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like there's an issue bringing stuff back.
Okay. I think very briefly, what Trenton wants to do over however long. We've got sandwiches. We've got pork sandwiches. We're fine. Sorry, porky sandwiches. We're gonna be fine. I want to, in this tablet, I want to get rid of all wishy-washy diary entries and just have as many plans for the staff, for this interface, for building controllable zombies, and and also how she figured out how to get here, which I don't know if we know already. Yeah, I think you might have told us.
I think I've given vagaries.
Wasn't it kind of an accident, and she doesn't necessarily know how she did it or how to
It's
replicate
pretty easy
it.
to flick back, like, right to the start of the diary.
Yeah.
Like, the first entries are her first times in this place, basically.
Okay.
And she got here by accident. Yeah, absolutely. She stumbled into these purple flowers, into the violet veil, figured out a way to get back, and then basically codified that in the system upstairs, the mirrors. She set up outside a projector so that this little alcove wasn't visible. So kind of a hologram projector type thing. So you could straight up go through it and go into the violet veil, but it was prevented for whatever reason that failed. That's why you could see it and get in.
Trenton, did she ever study any of the flowers? Is there any workings on?
Did she study any of the flowers?
Basically, the minimum she needed to get there and back. It wasn't interesting to her because her genius breakthrough was basically hijacking existing things and just taking the bits that are useful. Like, that was her genius. And the thing she keeps crowing about.
While I'm doing all this, as I'm pacing back and forth, for anybody who's not in the chat, my shoes are making the sounds of zipping as I'm going. Okay. Well, I think we kind of know what she's doing here. She just wants to be a queen in her own land and to have minions and to feel important. Because she obviously didn't feel importance in the real world.
I feel a bit sad for her, really.
It is. So what do we do? Do we bring her back? If we do, do we leave her here?
I mean, if we bring her back, she's just going to try and do it again, isn't she? And find another hole in reality to become a queen in.
What was she doing with all the minions? Is there anything about that in the diary? Like, she's not creating an army or anything, is she?
No, she's just basically iterating, like making it better and better and better. So Meriod was the first created, but he is also regularly updated. The mechanical parts get moved from body to body and changed and updated, but the memory is 13 years old. And the connection between the mechanical parts and the body and the brain that's the thing that keeps improving. When she realised she could network them together, she created her guards, and that was maybe 5 years ago.
Okay, so it's not like she's creating more and more to do anything with, so it's like I have a bigger purpose. It's just to surround herself with.
She's basically progress for progress' sake.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, we can always try and.
I don't feel like we can. I don't feel like I personally have any justice to dispense here. She's a bit of an arse, and
but I don't.
She did risk our lives. She wanted us to take on something which was way bigger than we should have taken on.
Yeah, but as you say, I don't necessarily think she's done anything wrong. And if this is what she wants to spend her life making and improving, then, well, I mean, I suppose sometimes progress for progress's sake is dangerous, but she's not at that stage yet, and I don't think we can.
I think we should definitely try and firmly convince her that if she comes across anybody who's accidentally found their way into this land, that she's a little bit nice to them and helps them find their way back immediately.
I mean, we could always tell her that, you never know when someone else is going to put her in a dimension trap that doesn't expire or doesn't let her out.
Dimension traps where we came from, or something. I'm not very good at threats.
No.
There's a bit of a furora, uproar, whatever, downstairs as Clegy arrives and the guards prevent him from actually getting in.
Hey Trenton, do you want to see something funny?
Yes.
Just look out the window.
And Clegy, one of the guards has a hand to your chest and is keeping you from going in.
Ooh. Get
Already
them.
explained that I am with the group. Like, oh, for
Get them to bow down and no, get them to pick her up and carry her through, like, and say her name all the way down the corridor.
All right. I get that. I asked the sort of not. I've been tampering with the staff, like, yeah, and I'm gonna get them to sort of pick Clegy up and or try and pick Clegy up and start going Clegy, and bring him through.
See,
Ooh,
they're
put me
kind of
down.
making the right vowel sounds, but speech is one of those things that got lost. So you're going to go easy.
That's even better.
What the hell? Oh my god, you've been taken over by Lady Vice. I'm about to be killed. Trent, Letty, Mazia.
Fiji, look out! They're gonna eat you. They're gonna eat you. They've already eaten Grondon, made them into sandwiches. Oh, no.
Wait, what's in these? No.
No, it's just kidding. Just kidding. It's yeah. Anyway,
Trenton, can you look up what's in the sandwiches?
no.
It's probably for the best,
Something
actually.
best left unknown.
Is there anything else in the kitchen to eat other than the sandwiches?
So there isn't really a kitchen.
Oh, stop.
Where do the sandwiches come from?
If you have a little look around, there is a small corner of the lab. Well, there's quite a large corner of the lab, part of the kind of biological creation stuff. Vat grown meat. Lovely.
Ooh.
And a kind of 3D replicator. A small kind of fridge with basically bread and cheese in it. You know, like it would actually probably be a fridge freezer. Basically, provisions, like the super basic stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Probably something in here that you could use to heat up if you wanted hot meals. But yeah, very basic provisions.
And they come back with a toasty, aren't you?
I don't know. It does sound good, actually.
Make some scones.
What's a scone?
Scones?
Sorry.
Surely. You put me down. Put me down. Put.
Zia,
Guys, I need some help here, please.
you're not going to do anything, are you?
Missy is like pretending to tap on it. She's like, "Oh no, I've lost control." But no, she will she will eventually get them to put Clegy down.
I'll fill Collegium on everything that we've found out.
Where? So, she's converting humans into these things.
No,
No,
that would be wrong.
no,
Wait,
it's
where?
all
How?
bioengineered and all grown in a lab, and then patched together by machinery.
Whole cloth fabrication.
It's all very clever. The implications could be huge.
But don't tell her that.
I don't know. You see, I'm thinking that
I was just thinking her ego's big enough already.
it is, but obviously it hasn't had the recognition that it needs. She could be a force for extreme she could be a genius. She could be a force for good here. And
she obviously has some genius tendencies, but she also seems to have some madness with it.
A megalomaniac streak a mile wide.
Maybe we could try and convince her to come back with us and then have someone else keep an eye on her. You know, say that times have moved on and people might recognize her genius. I don't necessarily know if we want that to happen, if we want her to even to come back, but we could try it if that's what we wanted.
I think under the tutelage of Professor Dr. Roberta Barbolina, I think she will be absolutely fine. She knows how to keep egos in check. But getting her there without her causing any trouble, I don't know. I'm also going to look at what her first name is, so we don't call her Lady Vice. We just call her Margaret.
Karina.
Karina Vice.
I mean, we could always come back for her, or not necessarily us, but you know, you could tell Professor Barbolina,
Professor Doctor.
Professor Barbolina, that she's here, and it would be a good, you know, that there is all this information.
That's true.
I mean,
and you know, she's probably not going to. I was just going to say she probably wouldn't be able to escape because she can't make another one of these since it was an accident that she got here in the first place.
well, I was just going to say, who is like the one person who would be able to control her, do you think? That we know.
The Djinn?
Ooh.
The
Well,
Nevergin.
yeah. No, I wasn't thinking that. I meant like, you know, of this world.
I could kill her, I guess.
Why? I'm sorry, Letty. When did you decide to turn to murder? I don't recall that being one of your specialties.
It's not ideal, but she is creating people and then turning them into zombies. So
You can't think of it like that. She's not creating people. She's creating machines that kind of look like people, and you know, they never were people.
What is a baby but a machine that's been grown?
But a baby has the capacity to grow and learn, whereas these things don't.
Don't they?
Not
They
on
don't
their own.
now.
No.
Not once they've had stuff put into their heads. They surely they've had. I think you said something about there being some capacity removed to make way for things like the satellite dishes and stuff, but I'm assuming there was something there before.
Not in them necessarily, as in, you know, she took the idea of a human brain and took some out and then built her own sort of version of it. I think.
But the parts for consciousness and free will have never really been there. From what I can understand. You know, I think we've all figured out that she's as we said, there are definitely elements of genius, but she's probably missing. She's not quite there in some cases. So I agree that what she's doing could be changed so that these things could have free will, but in the current way that she's doing it, they're not built for that. They won't develop. They can't get there. Does that make it moral? I build machines all the time to do things. But because they have the biological element, it feels wrong to us as biological beings. I'm not comfortable with her doing it anymore. But I don't feel like that's my call to make.
She needs oversight at the very least.
She does. I agree 100%. But I don't know who.
Well, who were you thinking, Clegy?
Oh, is
Oh,
that
no.
me? Or okay. God, I thought he was just doing his. Well, I mean, there's one obvious person. Matilda. Like, anyone can keep her in check, it's Matilda. And all we need to do, okay, let me think. So if we get Trenton to sort of download her research, because she's obviously not going to remember it all off by heart, is she? Let's face it. We can, I don't know, grab some of the key equipment and then, well, we basically take her to Matilda. When,
the
she
issue
can
with
travel...
that is that A, Matilda might not want to. B, Matilda's on the move so much, and she'll want a permanent space with the lab. And how do you get both Matilda and Karina to agree to this?
Lady Vice will walk all over Matilda.
Matilda's primary motivation is money, so I think that the problem would be we'd get her back and then she'd go, oh, an army of free labor, let's get into this right away.
Maybe.
I feel we
don't
need
know.
to leave her with a scientist.
I'm not staying.
Well, I didn't mean you.
No, but what I'm saying is, if we take, like, she's not going to remember how to do her research, right? And she needs equipment that she's obviously tinkered with to do what she needs. We take that, we take it to Matilda. This is now, for Matilda, effectively some sort of income. Now, yes, maybe she, Lady Vice won't... Sorry, what's she called?
Karina.
Karina. Maybe she won't be able to do work while she travels around with Matilda, but maybe during that time she might learn a little bit of humility. And in the meantime, you can go and talk to old what's-her-face. She can come and collect her, and then, by that time she'll have had a bit of humility. She'll have had some guidance from Matilda, who, let's face it, will take no shit from her, especially because she's also now a money-making source for her, and we know how Matilda feels about money. So I think it might be the best of all worlds. I see I'm alone. We can't kill her. Just take that out of your mind, Letty.
Just
these sandwiches.
Sorry, Ed. Am I right in thinking that we would potentially, from what we know at the moment, be able to leave and come back?
Yeah.
We'd be able to come back by finding the same rough geographical region that we came in that patch.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, should be able to do that.
Okay. Please, you're quite persuasive. Can we talk to Karina and, I don't know, somehow let her know that what she's doing is not cool and that she needs to stop and that we're keeping an eye on her and that there will be someone along soon that's going to help her focus her talents and put them to good use and get the credit that she's always craved in the real world. Hopefully her ego and her talent will equalize and she will be a little bit more balanced than we're currently seeing. But for now, she needs to stop creating abominations, I'm going to say, and just stop being such a dick as well. That'd be nice.
Here.
I mean, she's not going to listen to me. She's not listened to me throughout all of this.
She has less power now than she did when we first spoke to her.
Yes, but that's the point. She doesn't have that capacity in her brain to comprehend this, especially from me. I mean, obviously I could, have a few stern words, but stern words don't stop things like this from happening. If that were true, we probably wouldn't be in the situation we are. I mean, how many civilizations have been here before?
Yeah.
I don't know. We've humbled her.
Exactly.
We've got all the power in the situation, and having been on the receiving end, it feels quite humbling to lose your agency in this sort of situation. We know how her research works, we understand it, and we also acknowledge that it is genius. It's towering work of intellect. I think there's there's a path through to explain this to her. It's worth a shot. It's the only thing I can think of outside of, taking her out back and giving her the swift chop.
No.
That's what I'm saying. I'd rather try this.
Okay, just a quick question. What happens if we give them control of themselves? So it's not free will as such, but she's not directly in control of them. Like, she can advise them, but she can't make them do it. Does that make a difference?
They wouldn't do anything. They can't think for themselves. They would breathe still, and they might still eat, but probably other than that, there isn't much that they would do, unless directly told, in which case...
What are they doing now?
Well, imagine they're just sort of... Are they just sort of standing there?
Yep. Neutral positions.
Unless, like, obviously Fryn and Meriod may be different, but these are her guards, and nobody ever comes. So do they just sit there all day?
Merid, can you tell us, what do you spend most of the day doing?
Tell us about your hobbies.
I've already asked him what he does for fun, and he doesn't understand the concept. Or he understood the concept, but...
He says they spend most of their days in idle states.
And what do you think of anything during this time, or is your mind, well, blank, as it were?
The idle process is running.
Benton, do they need to eat and drink to survive, or?
Yep. And that's why there is plenty of food.
Well, technically, most of them do. The bestial men downstairs need to. Fryn and Meriod don't. They don't have mouths. Fryn is basically entirely powered by the crystal. Another find, basically. She stumbled across it a while ago and didn't know what to do with it, and has used it now to power. Just send energy to the body.
That's so good.
And also, both Fryn and Meriod take basically regular, like injections, but basically food gets placed in them more so than they eat. Because they are still biological, they still fall apart and need cells regenerating. So it needs something to do that.
Okay.
When she not upgrades, but like with the early versions of Meriod, was she making a completely new body each time then?
Yeah.
I personally have no objection to Letty doing what Letty wants to do. However, I think it's a terrible waste of intelligence, and I don't feel like we have justice to do that here. However, I'm not going to stop you. For me, I'm coming to the conclusion that if we can't tell her to calm down, stop doing what she's doing, until we can give her the appropriate environments to express her genius outside of this land, then I'm coming to the conclusion that we just go. We take what we can and we go. We take that staff so that she cannot control them.
My only issue with that is, well, is there anything to stop her making another staff?
Probably not, but it'll take a while.
So, what if we found some clothes? And actually, I think we should just try and find something to clothe them. Because anyway, we find some clothes. We take out her creations, and then we take her and her creations, and we just take them to Key. In Key, we at least will. Well, I'm sure we can contact some people who will know how to deal with it. I mean, I can always contact the Counts of Iron, but I'm sure in Key is the who looks after Key. Sorry, Ed, switching out. Isn't it the? I want to say the Brotherhood, but I don't mean the Brotherhood. The Red. Am I in the wrong game? Red Priests? No.
I've
Aeon
not.
Priests.
Say again.
The Aeon Priests, you mean? We don't have.
Yeah, is it the Aeon Priests?
I mean, Aeon priests are everywhere. Key is kind of a merchant town. Sorry, it's been a while since I've read these.
I was thinking one of them is actually the actual Aeons. Anyway, but like, we don't need to make a decision. We can just bring her with us. Like, we're probably the best equipped because we know what we're dealing with. Mazir's obviously got some capabilities with controlling them. Let's get them to Key. We can contact people from there. We can't be that far off now. I mean, we're nearly through the pass, surely. I mean, God, I bloody hope so.
I don't want to have these.
We might have to give up.
People anywhere near me. If my skin is crawling just being in this place, but. And the idea of taking her prisoner with us is I can't be party to it. I feel like, but.
Are we taking her prisoner, or are we?
I think if she's not coming willingly, we would have to take her prisoner. There's probably a nicer thing to call it, but that is what it would be.
I mean, the other possibility is we just destroy everything.
Trenton, do you think you could find a way to close this whole dimension?
I can try. I mean, see what
obviously,
about it.
Obviously, close it when we're all out. But either we could give her the option. We could close her in, or we could close her out, and then either she would only be able to affect her own small reality, or she could come out but she'd have to leave everything behind and come with us. It's not really ideal, but
okay.
At least then she'd have some choice.
Radical idea. Mazir, have you got the compassy thing from the giant on you?
Yeah, it's opened several pockets. Here it is. Yes.
See if there's anything data sphere-y in this area. Because we're in like a sort of another dimension, aren't we? So maybe there's data sphere-y stuff here, and if there's data sphere-y stuff here, we have someone who can interfere.
Does it look like there's any sort of access to the data sphere here?
I think you already checked, and yeah, there's absolutely nothing.
Rat.
Not sure I want the giant with this knowledge either. But the giant's forgotten more terrible things, I suspect, in the many years it's been around.
Kleegi, can you just tell her that we have found a way of closing this realm and that she has the choice to stay or come with us?
Fine. Let me talk to her. Can we? I don't think I want those sandwiches. They look a bit.
I'll have one.
I mean, they're perfectly fine. They've just been lab produced.
Hmm.
It's food.
Technically vegetarian. Or at least vegan.
Right. Looks very similar to what was on my Verad. I'm just saying. How about you go and explore the lab and just assess what we might need to take to prevent her doing some stuff. Trenton, can you download like the relevant records somewhere so that we can at least take it with us? And yes, Mazir, can you get one of them to make a lovely cup of tea? Please?
Do they
Well,
have
the
tea
two at
here? Can they make tea?
Yeah, they had tea leaves. They gave you tea.
I will ask them to make tea.
Yeah.
And
Marriott will go
maybe-
make tea.
Actually, I
Maybe
think
get
Mazir probably wouldn't get them to make tea. She'd ask them to show her how to make tea because that feels much more normal. And I think Mazir's probably looking for a little bit of normal right now, which this isn't.
Yeah.
There's a sign on the dashboard which just has 0 or 100% and there's a bar slowly moving across. So I'm downloading all this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, the tea making facility is like in the chemistry section of the lab. It is bodged together like a huge boiling flask and just a very nice set of tea things. Downloading stuff. How are you storing it? Where are you downloading it to? What are you bringing?
To the tablet.
Right, the tablet can only hold so much at a time. It can hold a significant amount, but it can't hold 13 years worth of everything. More than
No,
13
I'm
years.
gonna. Yeah, that's a good point. I wanted to get rid of some of the Dear Diary entries.
Yeah, I remember you saying this. I'm going to ask you to make an organisation roll.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yay!
Cool. I'm running out of points. I'm gonna use. Can I have 10 minutes to
Can
recover
we
some
actually-
points?
Oh yeah, you've got
Can
loads
we
of time.
rest?
Yeah, you've got
Yeah.
all the time you need.
Oh, okay, fine. That's good because I've got exactly the same option.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah. Lady Karina Weiss is basically sat on a bunk, like on a bottom bunk, head bowed, while Fryn stands guard.
Oh no,
I told you we'd get to sci-fi noodling.
Okay. What's this? D20. I have organizing. Yeah.
Is that,
Usual organizing. Huh?
is that trained or specialised?
That is trained with specialized electrical machines.
In this case, not allowing machines because you are just organising data.
Fair enough. I did have code breaking from when we did the thing in the other plane, the data sphere. Because I was breaking codes in there, and that was something I took as a skill that I was trained in. Well, I suppose that's not really applicable here, is it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Am I allowed to give some good advice?
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you thought, now, bear with me, about using Hungarian folk dancers
Mm-hmm.
and envisioning a sorting system using them?
You know what? I don't know where this Hungarian place is, but it does remind me of a dance, and it went. Yeah, I remember the rhythm. Oh, that would be a great system to use. I like it. I'm going to do it that way.
Like
Yeah,
whirling
yeah.
them to sort them or something.
Mm-hmm.
This is painful to a software engineer.
Hey, we don't program.
Yeah. Sorry, Ed.
I'm just seeing
You
if I've
tell
got
me
anything else.
useful information. I incorporate it into roleplay in a really bad way.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
would you want?
We've had billions of years of weird UI systems. Is this?
No, the problem isn't like the Hungarian folk dances, whatever. It's a sorting algorithm. You don't need a sorting algorithm for this.
Okay, I'm just gonna roll.
Yeah.
That is 9.
9.
And
You do?
yeah, with
This is
organising.
shit. This is not. That's assault.
The wrong kind of sword.
No, that is a comparison.
Oh,
A sort
fine.
uses comparisons to order.
I'll just carry on with my knowledge of the human body and not worry about these technical things.
You still get the good advice, though. So, sorry, what was the roll?
It was only a 9, unfortunately.
Only a 9, but with a skill and a help, it would be a 12 or 15, so a 5, level 5. So, yeah, you can get a fair amount of this information.
Okay.
It is worth saying, everything here is built off, like, scavenged tech, existing tech. Like basically everything in the Ninth World. It's incredibly hard to replicate from scratch. You need like the base stuff that was modified to make this. So, as genius as it is not really replicable in any significant way.
Okay. Including the staff.
The staff is more just sending signals. Like,
Okay.
yeah, the computer.
Is it kind of like a remote control that she'd possibly be able to replicate another? She'd be able to fairly easily build another remote control.
Yeah, that one, would be fairly easy to do. It's the actual creation of the
Okay.
And yes, you were talking about Key earlier. Key is the seat of the Amber Pope, who is kind of the head of the Eon Priests in the Steadfast. The Eon Priests out in the Beyond are their own kind of... Each of them are an individual, basically. So yeah, you get a significant amount of the data.
Okay. I think that's going to be pretty valuable data.
Yeah, just mark down that you have a level 5 of that data.
Okay.
If we ever need it again.
Okay.
Yeah. Tea is made. Data is downloaded. Letty's pockets are full. And I think Helen is not really with us at the moment.
See me or not?
Oh,
We heard that one. Only when you asked, "Can you hear me?"
Cool. So I will sit down, pour the tea. That's making this a pleasant social interaction. Just preparing, just preparing the roles. You know me.
Love it.
So, Lady Vice,
Yes.
how are you feeling?
I'm not entirely sure how to say it. Being crushed in a dimensional trap, then released very shortly afterwards, is somewhat disorienting. My feet hurt. A little bruised pride, if you will.
Is that related to your feet or just a different thing?
Oh no, I'm just making a list.
Oh, right.
Those seem to be the
Anything
extent
else?
of my injuries. Unless, of course, you count theft.
Theft?
Yes. You have my property.
Received. Which property?
The staff.
Mazir's like in the background, like twirling it like a baton, and just sort of like looks at Clegian and just sort of like
The staff and the creations it controls.
Right. So, first of all, let's just clarify this, shall we? It was not theft. As I recall, you were incapable of using your creations to actually help with the dangerous Ale Stalker.
As
And
I
therefore,
recall,
you actually gave up the staff.
as I
No,
recall,
she
I
dropped it and I
dropped
just
the
took it.
staff, and it was picked up by one of your compatriots.
You would not have dropped the staff if you had your wits about you and you knew what to do.
That doesn't preclude
sincerely
theft.
remember somebody cowering behind a hedge.
I am not a fighter. I don't
sorry,
see
I
how
did
your
not mean-
argument amounts to this not being theft.
Still technically on your property.
But
We're
it is
in your
not in my
house.
possession.
I mean,
How is it not in your possession if it's not
I
in your
could
property?
be
We're holding it for the
petty
time
and
being, I'd
go-
say.
But I do not have control over my own property. I have not given it to you. Therefore it is theft. It has not been removed from my property, so it is not yet burglary. But it is theft.
I think that's the other way around, you know.
Semantics.
I mean,
You
as
have
far as I
stolen
can
my
see-
property.
As far as I
do you
can
think that's
see,
the issue here? The issue is we got lost in your land, and we wanted you to help us get away. You set us up with an unbeatable fight against a hideous beast
That you
and
seem to
wouldn't help.
beat.
Only with the help of you and your minions that you've bred for this purpose, for fighting and being your slaves.
The fact that you beat it with my creations doesn't mean that you couldn't have beaten it without my creations. I think you have too low an opinion of yourselves.
Oh, thank you.
We are great, but if we hadn't been that great, you'd have just sent some random strangers to their deaths, and it feels like that may have happened. There's nothing that indicates that hasn't happened before. If we weren't as brilliant as we are, we would have died, and you would have basically blackmailed us into dying so we could get home.
But that didn't happen. Instead, you assaulted me and stole my property.
Because the alternative was going out to face this thing and then dying.
Mm-hmm.
Or beating it and escaping.
That's not really a risk that we needed to put ourselves through.
And that you shouldn't have forced us to go through.
Your
Oh.
opinion of the lives of others is very, very low.
Well, no, my opinion of trade is very, very high. I had something you wanted, you had the ability to do something I wanted. That seems like a perfectly legitimate trade.
you know what? You're right. Trade. You're right. Well, we appear to have something you want. So, what are you willing to trade for it?
See, now, the difference here is that is mine by right.
By which laws?
Says who?
By the right
We're
of
out in the-
creation.
We're out in the beyond. There aren't any laws out here. I should know.
What about the right of possession? I have it, and you don't.
Well, that seems to be winning the day.
For the moment, it kind of is. But that's not really, I think we're getting into semantics, and I really don't think we need to be.
Did we not have the right of free passage here? To come and go when we got lost? Do these beings around you not have the right to choose what they do?
Well, it depends if you ascribe to the idea of trespass.
We didn't
I
come here by
do.
choice.
That is none of my concern. Ignorance is no excuse.
It really is. There's no signage. Honestly, I keep on coming back to signage.
There isn't any signage, and I'm pretty sure you do actually have to put up signs.
There's nothing to say. Is this registered anywhere as yours? No, you're claiming it.
Well, no, you would have had to walk through a rock face.
Did we walk through a rock face?
You absolutely didn't.
We didn't walk through a rock face to get here.
This is what we're trying to tell you. We haven't come here deliberately. We found our way here, just as other people have. And you're not helping us get out. You're not stopping us from people from coming here to their possible death by whatever that thing was.
I'm going to ask for a persuasion at this point. You
Please
have
not.
hit on something.
Please not from me.
I have persuasion skills, so I can help. Because I've been piping up, I guess.
I was actually asking it from Letty because
Good.
you're the one who first brought up the rock, you not having the rock face, basically.
Okay, cool. What do I have? I think it's just persuasion, training persuasion. Deception and bluffing probably don't count here.
No, you're trying to straight up persuade.
No. Sign language, no.
Does my setting up a pleasant social interaction, in which I am specialised?
So you set it up and then immediately got into an argument with her.
Oh, she didn't drink a cup of tea.
I mean, to be fair, and I'm pretty sure she was winning that argument as well, because I was definitely there, like, with her property, and I'm like, not going to give this back.
I'm going to put 3 levels of effort in.
Okay.
Letty's mad, and she's...
Yeah, no, fair enough.
I think it's one of those ones where you look at Letty and you're like, not only is she making a point, but also her eye is twitching. And I think in one hand, like, she's sort of... The red-handled knife is out, and it's not so much that she's twirling it, it's like it's rotating fixedly in one spot, as if... just like it's vibrating, essentially. It's like one of those ones where it's like, okay.
You brought it down to difficulty 1.
Oh, wow, okay. 12.
12. That'll do it. Well, in this very particular case, then, I have part of the blame for your being here.
Yes.
I think perhaps we can all agree that this whole situation could have been handled maybe slightly better from all sides. And it is partly a result of the situation and the environment, but we could have all taken a different path that may have led to a different outcome. But I suppose the issue at hand is, what do we do now?
You have the advantage of me. What do you want? You haven't actually told me.
Well, that's what I was trying to get to.
Escape. You have apparently the run of my place. You have the schematics, the instructions. You can escape.
Karina, we want you to... God, is it so difficult? If other people end up here, help them out, help them leave immediately. You like have some humanity in you, and look after people that accidentally find their way into your lands. Your ego is off the scale and is causing a lot of problems. You need to just rein it in a little, only a little. You're very resourceful, and I appreciate that, but you could have killed us, and you probably killed others that have wandered in here or been implicit in their deaths. Do you understand what that means? Implicit in the deaths of others.
I think you mean complicit.
That's so Karina. That's so Karina.
It's like you're not helping the point.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Yeah, and both Trenton and Danny.
Sorry.
He hates that. He hates grammar Nazis. He hates it. Do you understand what I mean? Do you care at all about the lives of others? I want you to start caring a little more, and just you've put us all in huge danger for no reason other than ego. We're going to leave, and we're going to probably leave you here for the time being. Unless somebody has other ideas before we leave. But I have a few ideas of people to send your way that might be able to help you with some ridiculous megalomaniac issues that you have. Don't correct me on my grammar.
No, that was perfectly legitimate use of megalomania.
Thank you very much.
Except for the fact that I don't desire to rule the world. Would it be agreeable if I simply reinstated the barrier and made it more robust, such that no one could accidentally end up here?
It's a very good start.
I still need to be able to enter and leave. This place does not have enough provisions to keep me going. I need things from the Ninth World.
Why was the barrier down in the first place?
That I do not know. I've been here for 3 or 4 months. The last time I entered, the barrier was still up. Well, less of a barrier, more of a projection.
Ah.
Myriad was created 13 years ago.
Yes. Well, version 1.0.
So when you say you've been, when you said she's been here 3 or 4 months, do you mean like in this time?
Yeah, the last time I left this place for provisions was 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah. We'll have to talk amongst ourselves, but for me, it's a very good start. And I look over at Letty.
The knife is still spinning.
Okay. I'll shrug at Mazia.
Mazia will just shrug back.
Okay. And Kleiji? Okay. Okay. For now, reinstate that barrier. I'm going to hold you responsible. I'm going to send someone to check if that barrier is porous and not obvious. I'm going to take that as a risk. I'm going to take that as a lack of responsibility on your behalf for other people's lives. And yeah, for now, that's a good start. Please don't make any more of these creations. It's wrong. And I know, just don't make any more for the time being. That's a request. The barrier thing is not a request. Otherwise, we will send people to bring you back.
I want you to roll me a persuasion now. I'm not going to tell you what the difficulty of this is.
15.
Okay. It seems I have very little choice here.
In the meantime, I like a lot of your work. I'm impressed. I have some people I want to show it to. You will get full credit. Am I allowed to let people know of your work?
You see the jaw clench at that.
Full credit. People should know about this. You're good. You could do a lot of good.
It's not done. It can be better.
Yes, always can. Always can, but there comes a point where you just got to let other people help. Let other people take things in direction. Let go of that control.
If I say no, will you?
If you say no, then I will not tell people it came from you. And then your imperfect creations will be out there. No one will know it came from you.
Then put my name next to it.
There may be people that are interested that will come and talk to you.
If they can get through the barrier.
Yeah.
It'd be like a test of sorts.
Not a particularly relevant test.
No.
I think I'm done here. I'm fairly satisfied, so I'm going to take the tablet. Can you make another one of these?
I may have to make a trip for provisions, but I could.
Okay, I'll put this in my pack. I'm going to yeah, I'm going to leave. I'm going to let Letty do what Letty wants to. I only have control over my own wishes here, so I'm going to grab a sandwich and some tea and head over to the lab.
Trenton, what do you want to do with the staff?
Keep it.
Yeah?
For now, we'll leave it in the lab as we leave. Maybe. But keep it for now. She can't have it until we're all left. We've all left.
Smart.
Yeah, Letty's gonna grab the knife out of the air, and she's gonna look Lady Vice in the eye, and she's gonna say, "This was the easy way." And then she's gonna turn and she's gonna leave the room.
Okay. Are there any last things you want to do in this tower before you figure out how the mirrors work and leave?
I will take some ciphers if I can.
Oh yeah, everyone can pick as many ciphers as they can hold. We'll roll for them later.
Okay.
I think Mazira's gonna have one last. She's gonna have one last shot at trying to talk to some of these creations. Like, she's really hopeful that they do have some spark of personality. You know, she's not asking them any particular questions. She just on the off chance that something makes a difference. But
yeah, there's like the occasional thing where you think maybe, but in the way that Google search sometimes knows what you're going to say.
Yeah.
It's algorithmic, it's predictive, it is, yeah. Algorithmic.
Not really. Yeah.
The only thing that I wanted to do after that is just, I think Letty wanted to have a bit of breathing space, and we still don't know what happened to the automaton, so I think she's going to go out for a quick fly to sort of clear her head a bit.
Let's take a perception for that.
Okay. Do I have anything that would help? No, I don't think so.
So you're getting an asset because you're looking from above.
Yeah, I have lensing, but I don't think that's particularly useful here. Yeah, I'll put in a level of effort, and then I've got quite a lot of despair. I'll put in 2 actually, because I get that 1 free level effort because I've got 4 edge. So that's 2 levels of effort, and yeah. Well, that was the 1.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't even think of a geometry region that would work here. I think you... I think you accidentally actually get rid of some of the evidence. That's what happens. Your character does not know this, but I'm going to tell you that there are loads of footprints, and you zoom in close. You don't spot them and dust footprints out of the way. You knock a rope that was up to the side of one of these cliffs down, so it curls into a bush and disappears from view. And yeah, no idea. We have from Helen, can Clegy insight check her Vice to see how likely it is that she will accede to what we have asked? Absolutely. Yeah. Please.
Don't know if you can hear me or not.
Yeah.
Heard that?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's got insight as a skill. I'm going to put in. Oh, I'm going to put in 3 levels of effort. He's really, he's listened to what Trenton said, what Letty said, and really trying to make that final sort of is she on the straight and narrow type thing. It's a 13 plus 4. What for the extras?
Yeah.
4 extras.
Yeah, so it brought it down to a difficulty 1. She's not too difficult to read. Yeah, you think she is planning to do the bare minimum she can get away with while still staying true to the agreement she made. So she will put up the thing, and she will stop making them until someone comes and agrees with her, but she won't stop her research. She never agreed to stop her research. She never actually agreed to let anyone in. So she will try and stop them.
And
as
it was
much as
very
possible.
much like if they can get. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, if anyone can get through, that is, and that, I think that's ringing alarm bells for Clegy. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. If Letty comes back, Letty, are you back yet?
Yeah, I can be.
Okay. Did
So the
you
script's in sort
find
of-
anyone?
Couldn't see, hide nor hair of anyone out there.
Should we have a proper search, just in case?
Well, I was thinking that while we still have the staff, the last instruction we can give is for them to go out in teams of 3, searching, and then let Lady Vice know that if anybody comes to the door, brought back by these minions, then she's to let them through and just let them follow us.
They might need some signs on them or something. I don't think they're particularly...
probably.
Yeah. Thren and Myriad are speakers, but the rest aren't much for talking, are they?
No, we can write some notes. Okay, I want to do that. I want to figure out how to do that with the staff.
Easy enough.
I might even ask Lady Vice. I might just be open about it and say, yeah. Lady Vice, before we leave, we do have some people that that came through around the same time as us that are lost in this land.
They didn't intentionally come here. They came here accidentally.
Yeah.
As
You
per
let them
our
through.
agreement, I will help them leave.
Thank you very much. We will, if you could send your staff out looking for them, that would be wonderful. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. And before she answers,
Yeah, like the faintest of nods as you turn.
Don't know, but I'm kind of over her now. Okay. Should we leave the staff by the mirror as we leave, or do we want to take it with us?
I don't think she can conduct the search without the staff.
Yeah. Okay.
So sort of Letty gives you a look and then like also a very small nod reluctantly.
I want more from this Letty as well. I'm not satisfied, but I feel like we can argue to a blue in the face, or we can dispense justice that I don't think we are equipped to deal out. So I just want to get back now. I think damage is limited with what she said she's going to do, even if she only half-assed does it. It's good enough for me.
Is there any way of detecting where her barrier is? And is there anything we can put on her side of the barrier that we may be able to activate? I'm just thinking, you know, like my dimensional trap, how we should have had a button to override it. I'm thinking maybe we need that. Can we do that? I mean, I could probably create something. We've got enough ciphers to cobble something together. I know it's going to add to our time here, which nobody wants, but I think we need a safety button that we can actually get back in here.
We killed a creature that wasn't even fully in this dimension. I'm confident that if we wanted to get back in there, I don't think there's a lot that she can do to stop us. I think we're fine. It might be challenging to get back in, but we've still, you know, I've got faith in us as a group.
I also don't think she's... I think I might have something about that on this tablet. And I don't think she's that good to be able to change it significantly. Change the system significantly. We won't be able to figure out how to get back in. But I think it would take too long to rig up some kind of backdoor with this through this mirror right now. Because we don't want her to know as well.
Okay.
Because if she knew, she'd probably just be able to undo it or break it.
Exactly.
Yes, good point. Well, I say let's leave. I would say it's been a pleasure, but, well, we've got a few knickknacks.
Yeah.
It's been eye-opening.
Pocket stuff. I'm gonna go.
Plenty of crafting gear as well.
Nice.
Yeah, lots and lots.
Oh, and some lab-grown meat.
Yeah. A little bit of corned meat.
I like that we've got pet jerky and now like vegan beef.
Pork.
We've got the two extremes.
Like mock duck. Like hands of mock duck.
Yeah.
Anyone? Yeah.
I've seen them, yeah.
Hands of mock duck. That's what we've got.
Anyway, we are way over time, so you read through the bits you need to understand this mirror arrangement, set the controls, and one by one step through. The last of you taking a look over the lab and steps through, and very similar to the purple plants, you are just back in the camp. You can see just outside camp, everyone has set up their caravans there. They very carefully did not go into the camp because they saw all of you disappear when you went in the camp. They've stayed here a day and are looking a little nervous, a little restless, kind of sort of packing up, deciding whether to move on. And as you step out into the campsite, relief on all their faces. Matilda doesn't know it, but is relieved that she doesn't have another mouth or 12 to feed. She would not have been happy with that outcome. And you prepare, get everything ready for another half day of travel before you have to set up camp again, leaving behind the Violet Vale.
Woo!
And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
Nice.
There we are. I promised you sci-fi noodling, ethics, morals.
Love it.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks for playing.
Liked
I
it.
didn't actually have to do much this time. I just give you the information and let you talk it out. It's great. Action 1, noodly 1. Action 1, noodly 1. That's what I like.
Good part.
Yes, we need to do all the stuff at the end that I should remember. It is very late, so sorry about that. If you enjoyed our particular brand of chaos and you're not already on the Discord, come and join us. Have a chat. Lovely conversations going on there. I can't remember which days Mage is happening.
Tomorrow is Mage Day.
Tomorrow is Mage Day. And Friday is Benefactor Day. And yeah, things will be up on the YouTube. I've stolen your bit, sorry, LJ.
You stole my bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can't stay up this late, then you can watch during the daytime previous episodes and this current episode that you're presumably watching on the YouTube if you are not with us on the live stream. That was a sentence that made sense. A real tautological tautology.
It's half
but yeah.
11. It is bedtime. We just had to. We had to finish that off. There was no way we were leaving that conversation halfway.
No.
No, yeah.
That is all from us tonight. So I think it's just time to say goodnight. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.